So like in 2023, can you remember what sort of the talks were like with your team before you went on those big runs? Like, how were you guys speaking to each other? Was there like a certain, I don't know, were you guys being very positive about things? Were you just very neutral about things and just kind of working day to day? And then did that change after the results? Did you have start having different kind of conversations with people around you?
No, well, yes and no. So the weeks leading up to Miami, because Miami was the first really big jump I did, I believe in 23. I think I went around in Aussie. And then in 23, I got to like 10, it's a very similar spot that I am right now, actually. Very funny. I got up to 103,
Hey, that's
something
great.
like
Come
that.
on,
Maybe I was like,
We
loaded.
like
maybe I
that.
was like, maybe I was like 103 or something like that, and I was one match away from being top 100 for the first time. And I played terribly for like 3 straight weeks because I wanted it so bad. And then I knew I had points coming off of Indian Wells because I qualified in at one around. So I knew when India, I needed to get it in my mind. I needed to get it before Indian Wells. I didn't get to Indian Wells. I lose first round Qs to Martyr, and I dropped to like 122, something like that. And then so Ruan knew that I've been thinking about top 100 for a while, and I was getting super frustrated with it. So I went and I used to have the live tennis rankings app on my phone. So that was before the live tennis
That's
rankings
my
was in the
shit.
ATP app. So I had
That's my
to, yeah.
shit.
So you got it, yeah. So I had it in my phone and I was checking it every week. And then at that point, after I lost in Indian Wells, I deleted it off my
Delete
phone,
that.
like by my own. I was like, I'm gonna get that out of here. So I deleted it. I showed up in Miami. Quali then played a tough second round qualies match too against Lucas Klein. I think it was six in the third. We had a battle. I got him. Then so now I'm not really thinking about top 100 anymore. I know I've dropped to 20 something, 120 something. So I'm like, whatever, we'll figure it out. Let's just make good of this opportunity in Miami. So then I qualify in, I play Cooler first round. I win that. And then I play George and I'm down a set and a break, come back and win that match. And then I was like, so now like in my mind, I'm kind of like subconsciously starting to calculate points, but then I like immediately shut it down because I'm like, well, if at Indian Wells I call it in one
Bro,
around,
I do the
I was
exact
like,
same thing.
I was right there. So like I just qualified in and won 2 rounds. So does that mean like I didn't even really like I kind of thought about it and I was like, don't even focus on that, just focus on the next match. So then I I beat George and then I played Barrere and I end up beating him. And I had no, it was a crazy match. I won a set. I won the first set. I was up a set and a break, was absolutely tattooing the ball. And I had one loose service game. He broke back. And then we get to a second set tiebreaker and I get down 6-2 in the breaker on his serve, I believe. Yeah. And we have to leave the court. We go off the court and I go into the locker room and I see Francis and Francis is in there. He's currently on stadium and he's having a rough go of it. I can't remember who he was playing, but it wasn't good. Um, and so he came up to me in the locker room later. He was talking to, I think, his coaching team at the time. And he came up to me. He was like, so what's your situation? What's your score? I was like, dude, I was tattooing everything. I was up a set in the break. Now I'm down 6-2 in the breaker. Like I'm just gonna get ready start bracing for a third. And he was like, why you worry about a third? Like get this one. Like just go win this set. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, you know how I return. Like we'll see. Like, like listen, I mean 6-2. Like he goes, no man, like go out there and like just get it now. You don't need to worry about a third. So we get out there, we start the match. I get the point at 6-2. And was he serving at 6-2 or was I serving at 6-2? Either way, I got it back. And I got a real fortunate bounce. I think it was 6-4, 6-5. He was serving. I made a return. I think he went T forehand. I went right back at him and he shanked the forehand up, missed it long.
Love
And
that.
at that point, changing sides, I was like, oh, I might be able to get this here. So I got a little pep in my step. I'm changing sides. I end up winning the tiebreaker. 8-6 or 9-7, something like that. And I was so shocked that I just came back and won it. So like my hand, I'm like completely dumbfounded. I'm like, I cannot believe that I just won this match. And then afterwards, Ruan goes, hey, and just so you know, that was the match for top 100. And then I started bawling. I was crying. I had never felt like that on the tennis court in my life.
I think I seen that
So
video maybe.
yeah, probably it was late. It was late. It was
Yeah,
like barely anybody watching.
yeah.
And he told me that, and I went over and I hugged him. And then so at that point, I'm like, wow, I don't know exactly what my ranking is, but I know I'm top 100. That's pretty cool. So then I go on like Manarino in the fourth round, play really well, get him, and then I lose to Medvedev in the quarters. So that was like the first kind of jump. It was like boom. And then I think I ended that at 85. Mallorca comes. I Things just started to happen. I couldn't even describe it. Got Mickelson first round, Ben second round, started getting on a good roll. And then at this point, honestly, I don't even think I've looked at a ranking. I don't know what my current ranking is at that point. I'm just like out there swinging. I am completely carefree about what the result is. I'm taking my chances. Having fun competing. I am just in a space that I have yet recreated in terms of like mental like tranquility on a court. Like it was unbelievable. And then obviously take that title in Mallorca. And because Wimbledon was right after it, I just stayed in the same mental space. It was literally like I won Mallorca, crazy. Never thought I'd win a 250. And then I had to play Thiago Montero first round like 2 days later. And I was like, all right, like, let's just go out here, keep doing the same thing. Like I didn't really know the draw. I remember that. I remember I was in Mallorca when the draw was being made for Wimbledon, and I was watching it on YouTube because it was like live stream. So I'm watching it, and I'm just waiting for my name. And there's a few names like obviously when the big dog names come up, you get
Start
a little
praying.
tight. You
Start
sitting there,
praying.
you're like, oh, am I Novak Djokovic? Okay, cool. And like you're looking for it, and then it came up. I believe Tiago's name. It was like Nori somebody, I think it was Montero, and then myself.
You
And
say
then when I
yes.
saw that, when I saw that, I was like, okay, all right, let's see. Like,
I
could have
said
been a
God is
lot
good.
worse.
Yes, way
Unseeded, could have been
worse.
a lot worse. And so mind you, I'm still like in the semis of Mallorca, whatever's going on. So like, I still got a match to play, but it's just, I was so carefree, like it didn't matter. I was like, I knew I had I think Rinderknecht in the semis. And so I wasn't like overlooking him by any stretch, but I was curious. It was like, oh, the draw's being made. Let me just watch it. And then so once my name came up, I turned it off. I didn't know after Nori, I didn't know who was next. So it literally was like I came into the locker room or I go to the gym to cool down after the Nori match. And I asked Ruan, I go, who do I have now? He was like, Chris O'Connell. Yeah, okay. All right. And then we get through that one. I come to him. I go, who do I have now? He was like, Tsitsipas. I was like, okay, all right. Like it was literally who's the next name. I didn't bother to once go look at the draw and see how it would shake up. I was just like focus on the first match and move on. So that was kind of the mentality before that, and then afterwards, obviously, as we talked about, you just start to kind of, I think, my own level of expectation and wanting to go even further just kind of disrupted that kind of flow state I was in mentally. Because even after Wemby, I came back and I quartered Atlanta and lost to Vukic, who ended up finally losing to Fritz. So I was still playing decent after that. I went around at the Open. I was playing very calm after that. It was just, I think, after the U.S. Open is when I started to kind of think a bit more about kind of what was happening, and it just disrupted kind of the space that I felt like I was in.
There's also probably just more time. Like now, at the end of the after U.S. Open, you have the Asia swing, and then it's off season. So now you have time to just sit with your
I did
thoughts.
Labor Cup as well, which was fun. Like
Yeah,
that part was fun as well. But yeah, 100% right. Like that was the earliest I'd ever ended my year in my career. That 2023
Just
year
time to think.
because I ended it right after Paris, and I told somebody else this. I was like, the interesting thing about my rise, and then a year later was I was top 50 until I wasn't, which it's a great thing to have because it pretty much guarantees me main draws and no real fluctuations. But at the same time, if you're not winning matches, I couldn't play challengers to kind of get myself like build some confidence. I think the only challengers at that time I could have played may have been the 125s in between. India was in Miami, and there weren't that many. I think I played Cagliari actually at 175 after Madrid. But like throughout my career at various points, if you lose a few playing challengers, even if you're in challengers, you can find your confidence pretty quickly. you can build it back up, even if you got to drop down and instead of playing a 100, playing a 75, whatever the case may be. I didn't really have that. I was like top 50, so I couldn't enter challengers that weren't 175s.
For the viewers watching, it's because you're not allowed to enter. If you're inside top 50, you're not allowed to enter the challenges because of the ranking cutoff. That's
Yeah, with the exceptions of the 175s and I think some 125s. I think you can. There's rules to get you in, but yeah, for the most part, like if you're top 50, you can't play a challenger. So it was like only thing I could play was whatever tour events were going on. There was no real option to say, oh, I know I typically play better in these conditions, so I'm going to go play here. It was like, no, like you got. So then I had to play the clay court season come 2024, which is something again I had never had to do before, but I didn't have a choice. So I'm going over there. I'm playing. I'm still trying to figure out getting my footing and everything. Like, so now I'm just going over there and I'm barbecue chicken for a lot of dudes.
Thanks for watching this clip. If you want to watch the full episode, the link is in the description down below.